Genesis 4. A stark chapter. We've barely left the garden, paradise lost, and already humanity stumbles deeper into darkness. This isn't just a story of two brothers, it's the beginning of sin's dominion over humankind. The echoes of Eden reverberate, reminding us of choices, consequences, and the fragility of peace. Adam knew Eve. Eve conceived and bore Cain. Her words, "With the help of the Lord I have brought forth a man," are full of hope, a testament to creation's power. Then came Abel, a shepherd, a stark contrast to Cain, the tiller of the ground. These brothers, the first siblings, represent two paths, two relationships with God. This story isn't just ancient history, it's a mirror reflecting our own capacity for jealousy, anger, and violence. It's a reminder of the constant struggle between good and evil that exists within us all. As we delve into this primal narrative, let's open our hearts to the timeless truths it holds. Time for the brothers' offerings to God. Abel the shepherd brought the firstborn of his flock. Cain from the fruit of the ground, his offering seemingly less heartfelt, less devoted. God looked with favor upon Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. Why? This isn't about the gifts themselves, but the heart behind them. Abel's offering reflected sacrifice, a recognition of something greater than himself. Cain's perhaps revealed pride, a belief in his own efforts being enough. God's response wasn't about preference, but about recognizing true worship. Jealousy, a serpent in the garden of Cain's heart, began to grow. God, in his infinite mercy, warned Cain, "Sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." Here, God reminds us, we have a choice even in the face of temptation. We can choose obedience, choose love. Cain, consumed by envy, invited his younger brother into the fields. There, in the silence of the open land, he rose up against Abel, his own flesh and blood, and killed him. The first murder. The earth, so recently a paradise, now stained with the blood of innocence. God's question echoes through the ages. Where is Abel, your brother? Cain's defiant reply, "Am I my brother's keeper?" still rings with chilling arrogance. But the earth itself bears witness. Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. This is the consequence of unchecked sin. It spirals outward, destroying everything in its path. The story serves as a stark reminder of the sanctity of life, the importance of responsibility, and the devastating impact of hatred and envy. Cain, cursed from the ground that drank his brother's blood, is banished. His punishment to wander the earth, separated from God's presence, forever marked. The mark, a symbol of judgment but also perhaps of mercy, a sign to protect him, a reminder of his sin, a constant call to repentance. "My punishment is more than I can bear," Cain cries out. He fears retribution, the judgment of others, but even in his exile, God offers a glimmer of grace. Whoever kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over. Cain's story, though steeped in tragedy, offers a glimmer of hope. Even in our darkest moments, even when we feel the weight of our sin, God's grace remains. We are never beyond redemption, never beyond the reach of His love. From Cain and Abel's story, we see the destructive power of sibling rivalry. It's a tale as old as time, echoing through generations. Think of Jacob and Esau, Joseph and his brothers, the struggle for power, recognition, love. This story isn't just about two brothers, it's a reflection of the human condition. We are all susceptible to jealousy, anger, and the temptation to choose darkness over light. We all bear the image of God, but we also carry the stain of sin, the potential for both good and evil. But there's hope. We are not destined to repeat the mistakes of the past. We can choose a different path. We can choose forgiveness, reconciliation, and love. We can choose to be our brother's keeper, to lift each other up and build each other up. How then shall we live, bearing the legacy of Cain? First, by acknowledging the sin that dwells within us all. We all have the capacity for darkness, for jealousy, for violence. But recognizing this is the first step towards overcoming it. Second, by choosing love over hate, forgiveness over revenge. It's not easy, especially when faced with hurt and betrayal. But it is in those moments that we must cling to God's grace, asking for the strength to forgive as we have been forgiven. Finally, Let's remember our responsibility to one another. We are called to be our brother's keeper, to love our neighbors as ourselves. This means speaking out against injustice, standing up for the oppressed, and extending grace and compassion to all. Let us strive to create a world where the blood of the innocent no longer cries out from the ground, but where peace and love prevail.